Ladies and gentlemen, head coach Troy G. Ward.
Well, Troy, tonight you guys turned things around in terms of the shots on goal. You know, for the first time in the homestand, you outshoot the opponent and you lead most of the night, and it slips away at the end. How much do you just attribute some of that to an Oklahoma team fighting for their playoff lives, or is it something you were concerned with maybe down the stretch of this game?
I thought it was a good hockey game. At this time of year, no lead is ever safe, I don't think, whether it's just almost playoff time. And they're, like you said, they're scratching for their berth into the playoffs. We have ours. And we did some really good things. Like, we played better in a lot of ways, which told the media people before that I think televised the game or something. They wanted to know. I just said, we just got to play good hockey right now. Like, whether we get the end result we want, like, I'm just more interested in us playing really good hockey. Obviously, you don't want to be in the position maybe where St. Louis is in the NHL or Chicago, where you kind of limp into the thing. But I liked our game in a lot of ways, so it was good. Just take it in stride. It's another shootout. You never know,
Can you just talk a little bit about the decision to go with Doug Carr this evening, and just then what you thought of his performance?
Well, I was happy for Doug. I mean, one of the difficult things is we've got some black aces here, and they come from either college or major junior. And they come here, and they usually are the guys that are here by 7 a.m., and they're on the ice at 8 and scratching and crawling for everything they get. And, so we're trying to get those guys into our lineup as much as we can. And Doug was no different. He's practiced really hard. He comes out of a good program at UMass Lowell. He had a brilliant career there. So it was just a chance to get him a look, see what he can do. And that was really the only decision. It was kind of like Klimchuk the other day and different guys we just have to get in. We're about development, and we just have to play those guys. As far as how he played, I thought he played fine. Made some huge saves. Obviously made some really nice saves. I think the last one there, he wants back, the tying goal. Like, I thought that caught him by a little bit of surprise, but he's adjusting to a higher level. The release is quicker, and so things were a little quicker for him, but I thought he played it and did a nice job for us today.
You have 3-3 next weekend. Do you anticipate giving him another look potentially on the road?
Yeah, we'll look at taking him on the road with us. We might give him another look for sure. I think he obviously proved himself well today, and we got to be smart about how we use Orts down the stretch and how we get him ready for the playoffs. And right now our position in the playoffs is it is what it is. We don't really care which team we play or where we go. Like, it's not like we feel that we have to win 3 games in a row to get us this spot. Like, we have to take care of our own backyard, so to speak, and if we win it, it just takes care of itself. But we're mostly interested in how we're playing. Today was a good step forward in a lot of ways.
Hanowski seemed to be a real factor for you guys tonight, especially on the power play. He had pretty good legs. What did you see from him in his first game back?
I thought Ben was good. It was nice to see Ben back. I thought his line was probably one of our better lines tonight. Banksy and Juris, I thought they had a nice game. I thought they stayed over pucks probably the best we had. Like, they all have an element of hard to them. Our other lines have an element of skill, but they've got to grow a little bit more down the stretch here in terms of hard. Like, the other lines, it's like Dairy Queen. It's soft serve. Like, it's like not good at times. Like, that other line was like going old time Baskin Robbins. You got to dig it out. It's really hard to get out of there, and then you put it in the cone, and it breaks all up. Like, that's the way Banks' line plays. The rest of our lines melted over the top of the cone. So that's what we got to figure out here pretty quick. Soft serve isn't going to win. Like, and I'm being honest. Like, we got some guys that got to play harder, but we're speaking about Ben right now and his line, and they played really hard.
Now that you guys have clinched the playoff berth, how are you kind of getting your guys transitioned or thinking in a playoff mindset, especially considering how so many of them, this was their first sniff at pro postseason hockey?
We'll discuss it in team meetings, but the main thing is just how they live their life. It's their focus right now. It's how they manage their life. It's this time of the year for a lot of kids. What we have to do is rearrange their day-to-day mundane things. We've got to narrow that way down for them. Like, we've got to not text and Instagram and things like that's out there as much, and Facebook, and they've just got to really hunker into their own life and their own focus, and that's how I see it. Like, it's changing their normal day-to-day activities to a certain extent that has more focus to what they're doing, instead of like letting the game just happen the way it happens. It has to have some intent by our actions, and to me, that's not. We've done it all year. Like we know how to play. We know the process we go through. To me, it's the other 22 hours of the day I don't see them. I see them 2 hours of the day usually. It's the other 22 that I got to fix, and they have to fix. They've got to narrow themselves in and get dialed into what we're doing, and that'll start this week on the road, it's good for us to end on the road. It'll get us our focus.
Looking back, what was your favorite part of this season?
I don't know if there's one young man that sticks out. I think just as a coach, to be honest with you, it's been a true gift to coach the people I've coached. Like, if I have one thing that sticks out, it'll be the life-lasting relationships that I've built with a lot of players on the team. They're just good people, and they're a product of probably really good parenting. They're that good. Like, they just have had good parents, and they've been raised well. And we rarely have a day off. Day off meaning an off day in the room where a coach and an athlete are off because of the relationship or how we're getting through our day, even during the 8-game losing streak or whatever, or the 9-game winning streak. Like, it was always the same. Just a good group of guys. That's what I'll take home the most.
How much do you think it helps you guys to have that 3-3 with the guys coming down from Calgary tonight to get them in the lineup before the postseason?
I think it's critical. I feel fortunate that we have another week past the NHL. Thank goodness for the Olympics. We got an extra week now. We get these guys to kind of get into our mindset a little bit, how we're playing. Obviously, both systems are really pretty much the same. We have some more layers because we have younger players, so we do the odd thing different down here. But for the most part, to get Breen and Billings back on the ice tomorrow with us, Marcus will be around the locker room. He's not quite ready, I don't think, but he should be able to skate at some point tomorrow. That'll be it was good. That'll be good, and it was good to get Ben back today.
Do you expect Emile Poirier or Keegan Kanzig to be coming down at all?
I think we'll probably see Kanzig. I think we'll see Roy from Manitoba. Poirier, I'm not sure. I believe we will, but I don't know that 100%. I haven't gotten confirmed on that, but I believe the other two defensemen are due in to Abbotsford at some point. They won't make the trip with us, at least out of the gate, but they'll stay here. We'll have Dominic Pittis, who works with the Flames all year. He's been down the last 2 weeks. He'll stay here with Mike Thompson, and he'll work a group of guys out here every day while we're gone.
Last question.
Kulak, first goal as a pro. I mean, what is? You can just talk about what that means to a young man, and then just what you've seen from him since he's joined the team from the Giants.
Well, Brett, congratulations to Brett and his family, and that's great to get your first pro game. He got 4 games in last year, and now he's got 4 games in this year, so it's been good for Brett. Obviously, not a local product by way of birth, but by a local product by way of the Giants. So, it's good for Brett. He's coming along. He's got great tools. And the one thing about Brett is he allows himself to make a lot of plays just because of his natural skill. His feet and his hands allow him to make a lot of plays. And now we need to give him the experience. So it's a test of fortitude and a test of staying with it and becoming consistent as a pro for him, and us being good teachers and us being patient along the way, because there'll be some, there's kind of the way it started with Wather. It was some bumps and bruises along the way for Wather, and then he got really played pretty well the second half for us and got to play at the end of the year in the NHL. So I think Brett's kind of on that same path. Like, we're going to have some good days and bad days at first, and but the good thing is he's getting those out of the way now versus where Wather just jumped in to start the year and got going. So Brett will be ahead of the curve, which is good.
Great. Thanks,
Okay.
Coach.
Thank you.